It's Footy Prime, and it was a weekend of history being made in Canadian football with the NSL final. Football's a funny old game, isn't it? I think often the team that wins isn't always the best team on that day, but for me, champions deserve a champion no matter what. You're a champion. You find a way. The Dubs, did Vancouver, were they the better team in that match? Or was AFC Toronto?
What we said on broadcast was that it was a tale of two halves, and it was very much that. I think if you look overwhelmingly at what was presented to the fan and the people watching, it was AFC Toronto. But they couldn't finish their dinner on the day. So if they capitalized on some of those big chances that they created in the first half, they killed the game before the lightning delay, and they didn't. And those went wanting. They wasted those chances. They had that big opportunity with Okoronkwo, who had seemingly no urgency to kick it into a next gear on that run, and she wanted it absolutely on her left foot. She goes into the defense, 2 and 3 players coming back. So I think it's a tip of the hat to the Vancouver Rise and the resiliency, which they showed over the course of the season, really uneven. You could label them as inconsistent, but it was their ability, full pun intended, to rise above the challenges, the injuries, the poor form, and to become champions. They're history makers, inaugural champs of the Diana B. Matheson Trophy in NSL, and fully deserved. And what a goal by Holly Ward, Jimmy's favorite player. I have to say it.
My favorite player.
But she was, and I got some stick online. Asa Rahman, friend of the show, contributor to Footy Prime, somebody commented that she was like, I don't know if they're watching, like referring to me and Signa, I don't know if they're watching the same game that I am, but she was huge in blocks, what she was doing defensively in the channel in the first half, as it was an onslaught by AFC Toronto. But Holly Ward is a winger. She's an old school winger. She goes 1v1. She sledgehammers you with pace, and she gets to the byline. She crosses in, or she gets opportunities, and she scores. And she wasn't doing that. So in our estimation, we mentioned the defensive contributions, but we're like, she's not influencing the game going forward the way that she normally does. But it just takes a moment. And that ball from Cowart, they start at their own 6 off the goal kick. Sublime touch by Lisa Pechersky, one of my other favorites. Shout out to Lisa Pechersky on the year. Touches it to Sam Chang, Captain Sam Chang, takes it outside. A beautiful left ball played into space for Holly Ward to run onto. And Zoe Burns had done a great job defending her all night, but again, wasn't really tested, especially in the attacking third. And she takes a beautiful first touch inside to eliminate Burns. And then maybe Forrest, you can speak to the goalkeeping here, maybe the positioning of Cody Yard, but I think you just credit Holly Ward for the finish, because she's tried that near post finished over and over in this league, cutting inside to her right foot, going kind of back across, almost like that reverse shot to the near post, but she just kind of a couple yards off the ground, off the deck, and she just puts it into that far corner. It was gorgeous. It was really, really great to see. So all full credit to the Vancouver Rise, fully deserved.
Yeah, it was deserving to win any final. I mean, the equalizer, not so much, but
no,
the winner was spectacular. And I wouldn't blame the goalkeeper, although the net's pretty small at that stage, but it was well placed.
Could it be that Asa was, in fact, watching a different game? Right? Maybe he's watching a tape from a previous one.
Yeah, he was watching the semifinal.
Yeah.
No, but in his defense, it wasn't Asa, because he said, I think in his words, I'm paraphrasing, he said a relatively quiet outing up until that point by Holly Ward. And it was somebody, I think, who follows us both weighed in, and kind of she came at me and Signa and was like, what game are they watching? Like, she's been influential, but just on the other side of the ball.
Because they played before the season.
It's also difficult as well when you're a winger and you're getting pinned in, because AFC were on the front foot, weren't they? So you get dragged back, and then their attack isn't spring forward because they're too deep. So I was watching closely the wide play, and they were it was difficult at times for them, because even when they did start coming forward, the right back was drifting out so far to mark Holly Ward. That's why I always went to the left back first. But when she did get her opportunities, I liked it because she wanted to go 1v1 and take her opponent on.
Mm-hmm. Jimmy, you were talking about that play. So Okamoto started on the left as the fullback for Vancouver, and you were talking about their lack of production, their lack of threat going forward. And part of it is that you said Holly Ward, and you're watching her, I know that you like her, but as a left-footed player, I think that you felt like a sense of, I need to kind of pay attention to this player and maybe defend them a little bit.
That's the reason.
It is, though. Like, there's something about left-footed players sticking together and coming to each other's defense. But you were saying something about Ward pulling wide.
Yeah. So when she did, she would pull wide, but there was a lot of times where she wanted it to go to the fullback first. And I was like, no, just spring it into your feet first. It's just her movement. I think it was off at times because she was beside her defender. And then as that play's starting to build, that's when she's got to go out quick to give her space 4 or 5 yards, because that's what she needs so that she can run at her defender. But a lot of times it was like she wanted it to go to the fullback comes in and then come out to her. And I thought it would have been a lot easier for her if it just came straight out to her and she can run and go 1v1.
When you
what's for the Canadian final with another delay, a lightning delay in November?
Not much luck, eh? I know. But let me ask you, like, when you go into the room at halftime and you're down by 1, but it could have been 3 or 4.
Yeah.
What is the mindset? Is it like, wow, we're still in this, we can turn this around? Or, I mean, you could see why also you could be almost defeated and, man, we're being smashed here. Okay, it's only 1-0. Obviously, Vancouver were the former. They're like, wow, it's 1-0, could have been worse, but we're in this still. Let's show them what we have. But I imagine it differs very much from team psyche to team psyche.
I think Sam Chang spoke to that. And she said they used both the lightning delay, which is, I think, if I'm not mistaken, around the 38th minute. And then they came back. And then something we haven't mentioned yet was the Jasmine Spencer clearing, like the clearance off the line, off Okamoto,
post first,
where no, there was another opportunity where it came from a wide right position and it deflected and it hit off the post to Cody Yard's left.
Wasn't that the same play, though?
Oh, no, you're right. It went off the post and then it landed at like right in a central area, fell to the feet of Okoronkwo. And then it was Spencer just like in that space there. And she saves it off the line. So that was a critical play to keep them in it. And that was after the lightning delay. So they go into the dressing room and they're only down a goal. So yeah, it's 100% at that point. It's like, we've hung on. We've not been good. We have a shot in this thing. And they came out of the dressing room in the second half and they were front footed. They like sort of re-energized and they were like, okay, let's play the way that we can. Whereas AFC emerged and they were a little bit flat. And I also think tactically and from a coaching standpoint, and Forrest and Jimmy, you can agree with me here or not. Heine Moeller, much the way she did in the semifinal, she made tactical tweaks. She went aggressive. She took Okamoto as that left back out and she put in Mariah Lee, who provided the assist for the equalizer on aggregate for Hollywood in the semifinal. She came in and again was impactful. And like they went like to a back 3. They usually build in a back 3, but that was a more aggressive move. And then the substitutions that Milanovic made didn't really come off. It was more of the same. I felt like AFC Toronto were very one-dimensional in that second half, where they were trying to catch them on the break and they were successful sort of in transition. But other than that, they were just trying to whip in crosses that lacked the quality to really threaten.
Yeah, I agree. Because we talked about that as well, about the tactical substitutions and changing the shape. And you just said more or less, the Vancouver coach outthought the Toronto coach, and he didn't have any answers for her.
Dubs, I wanted to ask you, how great did it feel to be surrounded by a bunch of your contemporaries who are all starting a new league inaugurally that you're involved with, and you get to see them kind of reach the pinnacle of women's soccer in your own country? How'd you feel? Like, was it real to you? You're like you and Signa calling the game. Then you get to hang out with not just Footy Prime, because that's special, but all of your friends are in town. Yeah, but all your friends are in town. How did you bawl at all? Like, you're a baller.
I bawled on air. It was so embarrassing.
Craig's done that too, so don't worry about it.
What's that?
Craig's done that as well.
Yeah.
Has he?
Yeah, I was bawling on Saturday night.
World Cup qualification. He his eyes out like a baby.
Yeah. Yeah, I was bawling when I was hugging Diana on Saturday night. You know, obviously, like I'm a little bit taller than her. I was like,
Are you? She just disappeared.
The bend over hug, right? That
The
envelope.
awkward bender over for someone who's 6'6".
yeah.
Yeah.
No, but how was it, Dubs? Like, tell me how that day was for you.
It was different from the inaugural match where I felt like I had to really compartmentalize like those feelings, and it was all about showcasing and uplifting the product on the pitch, and recognizing that even though I had a part in it and I felt really like impacted by it and emotional by the magnitude of the moment, that like I could be emotional about it after the fact, right? And then like I had moments like around the game, but the game was very much like, this is about these players. And it was still about the players. It's even more so about the players now after we've played the season, and like the proof is in the pudding, and the investment from the government.
Did you say the proof is in the pudding?
The proof.
I think you
No, I
did.
said proof.
Okay.
Whatever. You guys know what I mean. I'm so tired. I think I mentioned this off the record, but I asked my husband JP this morning, how tired do I look on a scale of 1 to 10? And he said 46. And that's a pretty apt description of how I feel, but also how I look. But Erin McLeod, I'm going to blame her for me getting emotional, because I like entered this again, just like it's about showcasing the players and like what a privilege it is to have covered this league, but also to do it, as you mentioned, Wonger, with my friends, my contemporaries, my colleagues. It's pretty fucking cool. But Erin said to me before, maybe half an hour before rehearsal, she's like, I just wanted to take a second, and I just wanted to say thank you for like all the work that you've put in over the season. I don't want to cry again. And I was like, thank you, friend. Like, it means so much coming from you. And she said to her wife, Genny, and these were her parting words to me before we like went to do our final prep and to rehearsal. She's like, I just don't want to let Amy down. And I was like, you motherfucker. And that was like a dagger in like the best way possible, like through the heart. And like, I was fine up until that point. And then I got all like teary and kind of, I wavered. And then at the end, the panel had their final thought on the game and on the season, and they went back up to the booth for me and Signa for like our overarching thought on the game and the season and the NSL and in its inaugural year. And it completely took me by surprise. I got like choked up. I had to like grab Signa's arm, and I got through it. But I was like, what's wrong with you? Anyway,
Dubs.
but it
You know
was
what,
good,
Dubs?
I
I have to
guess.
say, it's an inaugural season, and we can talk about the on-the-field play and how strong it was. But I got to say, from a nerdy TV standpoint, the broadcast quality was fantastic all year.
Oh, thanks.
I thought you guys, like from yourself, the color Signa was as always brilliant. Even seeing Rusty there in the bowels of the BMO field at the break with Andy Petrillo, who's an absolute, obviously, best in the business. Erin was there, who's I think has got the best hair in the business too. I love the hair; it's amazing, so punky. I love it. But just overall, all year long, yeah, exactly. Just the broadcast quality throughout the entire season, I thought was absolutely top notch. And for a first year fledgling league, that isn't always the case. So you should pat yourself in the back for sure. And you set the bar for what should be another great second year. But the pressure's now being built, right? Because you got to reach those heights again.
Yep.
And I'm sure you will. There's money coming in now, more money coming in because the
5.4 million from the federal gov, right?
Yeah, exactly. Good old government looking out for soccer.
You're welcome. Hey. You're welcome, NSL.
Yes, as a taxpayer on occasion, you're welcome. But yeah, congratulations to Diana. We'll get her on the show soon. And the whole league, because it was a great event. We were in the Brazenhead before the match quite early, meeting up with some of the supporters club, Carrie and Chris Rourke. And there was a buzz there. It was packed. It was packed. And walking to the stadium with fans, it felt like a proper football crowd. I'm not being patronizing there. You never know in the first year of a tournament, right? And 12,000, I think it was, in the stadium. It's great. And this is the first year, right? It's going to build. It's going to be a slow build. We're seeing that with CPL, but it'll build. And I think it's it was a great little bow on what was a very successful first season.
Yep. And shout out to those, you talked about the league being fledgling, those supporter clubs, out of nothing. The Vermilion Vanguard, the Crow Collective, like at that trivia night, like there was just a little bit of some of that animosity building where one of the Crow Collective got up on a chair and started to say do a Vancouver chant. And then AFC responded and like Bonnie and Signa and I were on our way out. And I was like, ooh, something's afoot, something's brewing here. So there's a love, there's a collaboration between all 6 of those supporters clubs. And did you guys see the tifo that took elements of all of the 6 logos that they worked tirelessly on? So that is so impressive. And like the culture, again, that was born out of nothing now is just so meaningful and so significant. But I wanted to just tip my hat to the Vancouver Rise, to that organization, from Steph Labe to Robin Gale, who's come in and made some really impressive moves as that interim sporting director. Enya Heiner-Moller, Christine Sinclair, obviously, like, of course, Vancouver Rise won. Sinky's one of the investors, right? Like, she only knows winning. And all of that group there, Sinead King, pretty obviously Greg Kerfoot, like all of the kind of the roots that they've put down in that Vancouver community. So it's huge. So congratulations to them.
You know, Wonga and I were talking about that. We first got to the stadium. We saw the Vanguard, Vermilion Vanguard down there doing their thing. Claudio with the old loudspeaker, his voice was already done. But we're just saying, like, how cool is it, right? It's not a big group right now, but they're loud. And again, they're building something, this community that didn't exist a year ago. And you're seeing these guys, you see the same faces, right? You go to AFC Toronto games or events and you see the same faces there, right? They're a family already.
Yeah.
How cool is that? That's football. We
not only
we have to complain on whine and complain about football and all the professional level and the monies and the lack of soul anymore. There's a lot of good stuff going on right now at that level, and we saw it with our own eyes on Saturday.
And the building, we have to remember, it's not just building; it's investing time, money, attitude, energy, everything goes into being part of that, and the payoff is to all of a sudden you get to create a tifo that does incorporate all 6 teams, that they brought all the owners out at the beginning of the game with Diana. And I thought that was just class, that everyone was there from the first season, all of the club's owners. The only thing I can say negative isn't negative. It's just that there were 12,000 people at the match. It was a rainy, horrible day. But if it were Ottawa who had won, they would have made the trip down the 417 and 401 kind of thing to get there to, I think it would have been more people, another 5,000 people, just saying. So, and Ottawa lost in the semis and then they won that's an up and down. I'm from Ottawa, so I'm just leaning into the up and down season for them too.
Well, they were quite consistent, actually.
They were. Yeah. I'm just saying up and down because they lost in the semis.
Right.
Hey,
Yeah, but Phoebe Pridham as the Golden Boot winner was there and presented on the pitch.
Right.
Sinky went there,
asterisk, like we have to say every time you mention Phoebe Pridham, I have to say that you are the founding president of the fan club. Just to say there is a bias here.
Casey Stoney's not listening, but call her in, please. Get Phoebe Pridham into the national team. Go.
Yeah, there you go. She might be listening. You never know. Probably not.
No.
What was Sinky there on the weekend? I'm assuming she was. I didn't see any post game stuff because I was too busy doing stuff. But
no, Sink was there. She was at trivia night, unlike other Footy Prime members.
Well, I don't know. Have we known it was on?
Had we been invited?
Have we discussed it in some day?
I didn't know about it.
Jesus.
And
here we are.
What was I going to say? No, and she was also present at that press conference to announce the investment in the Northern Super League. Sink was on hand for that. Yep.
Okay. We also have to mention player of the game on Saturday for Footy Prime is, everyone thought it was going to be Dubs. It was Craig Forrest. Craig Forrest got cold halfway through the match and went home, and I think he showered and got warm and then showed up 4 hours later. So off air, we were calling him Lazarus because the stone had been removed, and all of a sudden he's back. So Craig Forrest, and I think you probably stayed up till 2 if you were out, if you saw Dubs on the.
Yeah, it was longer than that, I think. Later.
Now you mentioned the word Lazarus, reminds me of David Bowie, right? In his last album, and his name for many years was the tall white Duke. Is that not a great name for Craig Forrest?
Yes, it is.
Tall
What,
white
tall
dude.
white dude?
Duke, not dude. Duke.
That works too.
It fits beautifully.
Tall white dude.
With a tall white Duke.
What
Mhm.
time did you wander home? I want to know what your hours were. What are your windows to party? That's what I want to know.
Who,
Going
me?
forward. Yeah, you.
I don't know. I left Jimmy on the street at, I don't know what time it was. I can't remember.
I think because we went back to Fox and John's, right?
Yeah.
Did we? And,
Yeah. I
and
remember
had
you on the
food.
floor.
All right. And then Bonnie and I and Kev Corain, the great producer that we worked with over the course of this season. He's just a delight to work with. We cleared out of there after you guys left, even. So I don't know. It was between 2 and 3. And I was in rough shape yesterday. But I just wanted to say, before we move on, Wong, you mentioned MVP and you said Forrest, but MVP of the game, first ever of an NSL final, was Morgan McCaslin. And I mentioned that Jasmine Spencer clearing off the line that kept the minute, kept it to 1-0. But she came up huge for the Vancouver Eyes to ensure as well that they weren't behind by more than 1 goal.
Oh, agreed.
Yeah.
Like she made 2 or 3 saves in the first half that were goals, or could have been goals.
Yeah.
So
I do want to shout out before we move on our supporters, our wonderful supporters club, Carrie Ryan, they've put together some amazing scarves, which 5 of us still have. JC had his lifted by someone in the press box, which is unbelievable. Actually,
It is, but there's some suspects.
Oh,
well, only because I was told that there was someone who was admiring and even said, "Hey, can I have one?"
Mm-hmm.
So when I went out with you outside, James, to watch we wanted to watch the anthem from outside, because as you do, and then watch the kickoff, and then came back in, it was gone. And looking around the room, there was a lot of guilty faces.
Well, the press corps are just generally speaking a bad type.
Yeah. Well, and I asked our good buddy Thomas Hewitt. I said, "Man, keep your ears to the ground, and if you hear or see anybody with the scarf that isn't one of us, one of the 6, then let me know and get some intel."
Wait a minute, it might have been Tom.
Well, that's the thing. This could be the heart of government.
Somebody might have ate it because there was no food up in the press box.
Come on.
Popcorn.
Yeah.
Lots of popcorn. Everybody was gassy after.
Yeah, it's a good
Not
thing I didn't-
gassier than me and Sharms after the curried chickpea wraps at the men's national team game
We were
on
let
Thursday.
down, weren't we? Am I still on here right now?
yeah, but but it sounds like you're speaking through your computer.
This is really well. I've lost
There you
my.
go.
I've lost you.
No, that sounds good.
You're
I
still
don't
there.
see you.
Yeah, you're
I don't
good.
see you anywhere.
Hmm.
Oh, there you are. Ah, there you are. Okay, back now. That's weird. My phone
Nice.
rang. It went through my computer. Then it
Oh.
kind of shut everything down. That's why. But yes, so Carrie, they're amazing scarves though.
Incredible.
They're so warm, JC.
If you see someone wearing a Footy Prime scarf, please take a picture of them.
Serious.
We will then decide whether they're part of the supporters club and they are allowed to wear the scarf. And if not, we will track them down and we will kill them.
And
You know
or
what?
publicly shame them. One of the two.
One of the
It was amazing just watching JC going to person to bag, trying to find this scarf. And I was just standing at the door watching him, and he's just over top of everybody, looking underneath the desk. And that individual that had it could feel JC.
Oh, for sure. And it's in that room. It was there. I could feel it.
I had my eyes on Tommy Hewitt and JMO. So I think it's one of those two.
I think JMO had a scarf on. I think there was, but it wasn't our scarf. But he had.
He had a scarf on. Okay, well, listen,
it's something
like I
on.
said, if you see a lovely, they're amazing scarves, Carrie. Thank you so much to the supporters club, and also want to thank Chris Rock, who is a brilliant guy, long time fan of the podcast and member of the supporters club. His mate, either a collector or he sold a lot of football merch, and he was clearing his drawers out. And he found a Liverpool What are we laughing at?
Cleaning his drawers out. Just
Yeah, I don't know.
That's all.
Get a rough meal.
That's not what I meant.
Yeah, you were just talking about chickpeas.
We all did that on Sunday morning.
Yeah, not a tall white Duke, but a tall white Dookie.
Rocky, he presented me with a Liverpool Diego Jota shirt. It's unbelievable. I love it. It's incredible. Do I wear this thing to events now, or do I frame it? I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but it's amazing. So Rocky, thank you so much. You're
I'm
such a
kind
good
of jealous now. I
And
was
just
really
so-
excited that I got to meet him for the first time. I didn't get a Liverpool gift.
The other thing is Chris Rourke,
own that.
even though Carrie does a lot of the heavy lifting for the Footy Prime Supporters Club, it was Chris Rourke's idea for the Footy Prime Supporters Club.
Yeah, he's a bit like us. It's like he has
Oh.
great ideas, but
Yeah.
he needs, as we do, we need people to do it for us, execute on the ideas. And Carrie executed
What a nice
Chris's
guy.
idea.
Great
Yeah.
guy.
CR
Chris-
squared.
Chris
right?
also
Yeah.
had a
Very
signed photo, wasn't it? A signed photo from Forrest, from Nottingham Forest.
Yep.
Yeah.
From when Jimmy played.
Jimmy's autograph was on there, right? But not he wasn't
Yeah.
in the picture though.
Yeah.
He was. I
In
think
fact,
he was
it was
an international.
Forrest,
team.
Footy.
Pointing
Yeah.
to his name.
Did they generally wait until you were away, Jimmy, to take the team pictures?
Yeah, it happened quite often.
Well, they didn't want him accidentally, purposely flashing during the photo, and then they have to
Oh,
go back
that's
and
right.
retake
Yeah,
it.
because that front row, you're kind of like squatting down, right?
No,
And you couldn't see up
He
the
doesn't
shorts.
wear.
keep the
kid
mouse
under
in the
there.
house, buddy.
Loosen
Shout
the
out
hoops.
to Rian Wilkinson. Yeah, that's right. My friend Rian Wilkinson, who's so busy coaching the Welsh women's national team, and Diana's invited her back to many an event, and she was able to. She arrived late Friday night. She flew out last night, and for Rian to be on hand, as well as some of the former women's national team players who were integral to this league getting off the ground, obviously spearheaded by Diana, but like Desi Scott was there, Melissa Tancredi was there, obviously Steph Labbe and her involvement with the Vancouver Rise, but Rian as well, and Robin, obviously, who was the sporting director of Vancouver Rise, but former national team player. But Rian was huge in this league happening, right? She had a role in the pathway and in the build. And so for Rian to be there and to get a sense of everything that's happened since she left, but that she was foundational in creating, I think was pretty meaningful as well.
How busy are international managers, really, Dubs? Come on. Every few months, they have a couple of weeks. And then they got a lot of free time. So come on, she has time.
I suppose she's on very little sleep. She's on less sleep than I am.
I'm just being a prick.
I know.
I know she's
So
very
Dubs,
busy.
the entire alumni of the broadcast was all in one building at the same time.
That's
I mean,
true.
that's the story right there.
You get a
Oh,
picture?
I know.
Did you get a
No.
picture?
God,
Oh,
no.
That's a waste.
No,
All of
I
you?
know. That's why I think it was decided because my sister Bonnie was on hand that she's the better
She could have
Walsh.
stood in. She
And
could have
no.
stood in for you.
She's a much better Walsh
Is she
than
the better
I
Walsh?
am. Of course she is. And she's a much better photographer. So Bonnie is like the family photographer because I just forget. Like I just put my phone away. And Bonnie takes great pictures. So anyway,
Who's
another
the elder Walsh?
oh, this is gonna delight Bonnie to no end that you're even asking.
Oh, okay.
I don't know where
It's you.
I'm the eldest of the girls, yeah.
Oh, are you ready?
Yeah, so
Okay.
Ian is the big brother, and then it's me, and then Cindy, Sarah, the twins, and Bonnie's the baby.
Well, that's my Dubs. You're aging pretty well.
We'll be right back, folks.
You made fun of my body not freaking half an hour ago, okay?
Okay.
This commercial break is brought to you by Botox.